bitch on that beat going crazy.
Yeah, she says a feminist is a person who believes in the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes. And that's the best way to put what a feminist is. Welcome to Housewine. I am Sade. I'm no longer at Just Day Everywhere. I am at Just Day Everywhere but Twitter because we're not going to talk about that. I am at OMG, it's Just Day at Twitter. But I'm Just Day at Instagram. And I'm at Just Day everywhere else that you can find me.
You had all this time to prepare, though. It was like, it's like as soon as we look at you, it's like it's an ultimate tickle.
Okay. That's why you don't sit in the middle.
Yeah,
Exactly. Who put me in the middle?
You put yourself
the monkeys put you in the middle.
No, we're at a sink.
Come on. Do you want me to give them your intro?
I got
Okay,
it.
go ahead.
I got it.
You got this. Who's up?
Hi.
Hi, her name is Slim Shady.
No, it's not.
Okay, well then tell them what it is. What did you
Hi.
Anyways, y'all should know me by now. It's AngelleeTV. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. It is McWilson and 89.
That's
Just
it.
Stay everywhere but Twitter. We're not going to talk about that. And we also have a brand new page. It's called My House Wine. Please go on Instagram, like, follow.
Because you will
comment.
find our live videos will happen on Instagram at My House Wine on Instagram.
Yeah. Yes.
Everyone can
Oh,
be on
wait,
your
we have to introduce our
Our wine of the moment is Barefoot in a box on tap. Sunset Red Blend is equal to not one, not two, but
Not 3.
4 bottles of wine is in this box.
Yes, because one is just not enough. One is just not enough. We've gone.
It's a pandemic. We had to keep our pandemic pot, and this is where we are now.
Yeah.
We're tasting everybody.
Wait. I'm not even gonna say a shameless plug. These are our plugs. Period. If you have not already gone and bought either one of these wonderful books, then you should just jump off a bridge.
No, don't tell them to do that. Not today.
They will really do it.
I mean, it's a pandemic. You need these in your life.
There's been a lot of people.
American Hurt by yours truly. Return to Sender by yours truly. Please go out. These are on Amazon, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Go on Amazon, search for them, buy multiple copies, give them as gifts. Christmas is definitely coming up. And other holidays, I think I'll skip a couple. Thanksgiving.
Those are giving coming up.
Christmas is coming up. Get these for your friends.
Actually, it's Labor Day.
Man, it's cuffing season. Somebody need to read this shit. I'm just saying. You need to read. You need these. You need these in your life.
All right.
Well, if you call it comfort season, I don't think you want to be with somebody
I'm
while
glad
you're
we know
reading
that
this.
you can't hear because I did not say comfort season. Anywho, what is our topic this day?
Our topic this week is feminism.
Mm-hmm.
I told y'all the definition of feminism earlier.
Yes.
And we guess we're just gonna jump right into it. It's there's no way to sugarcoat it. It needs to be talked about. We're gonna talk about feminism and just like owning your sexuality.
I think we should talk If we're gonna talk about feminism, we have to bring up the elephant in the room. Come on, read my mind.
It's on there already.
Hanging ball.
Yeah, it's on there already. But first, we're going to talk about Kehlani and her latest video and how it was dedicated to sex workers and how sex work should be legalized.
Oh Lord.
I don't think that.
Speak up. Let the people hear you already. You got an opinion, say it. Come on.
I don't think that sex work should be.
Why?
Why? Because, like, it's. Okay. Sex work should not become, like, females do it out of their, because they want to do it, but, oh gosh, I don't know how to explain this.
It's legal in some other countries, and it works.
Yeah, it is legal in other countries, but in other countries, and even in the United States, there's different states that it's legal. A lot of people have been killed because of it. So I don't think that that should be something, like, if you want to do it online, but, like, you want to do it up front and personal and so forth, you're making a big, big choice. And
But think about it, because it's not legal, if someone, like, was assaulted or they got hurt currently because it's not legal, they can't report it.
Exactly.
But if it was legal, they'd be able to report such things and they wouldn't have to worry about repercussions because they were doing something illegal in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
No. Nah. Because if you're gonna legalize that, you need to legalize all the drugs. Because then it's the same thing. Think about it. Okay, so say I snort
There's
coke.
that great
I
drug.
snort cocaine and I do heroin. We're gonna make it legal so that people who snort cocaine and overdose on heroin or whatever can get medical treatment when they OD.
That's not the same thing. You're comparing something that someone... You're comparing
Because it's
apples
a
and
choice.
oranges.
It's a choice. It's like somebody is literally saying, instead of me going out and getting a job, not a job, but instead of me using my brain to do something that is safe and progressive and a help to the society, because I mean, yeah, sex is
But
great.
we're living in a culture, like, America is like one of the only countries that over-sexualizes everything. Like, you can walk around, like, in Europe, they have, like, naked bathhouses. That's, like, they're not over-sexualizing things like we're over-sexualizing things. We immediately see things, they're like, oh, we think of sex, like, get your mouth out of the gutter.
But you can't, nobody's going to do that. It's too late. If that was going to be our culture, that had to be, like, way in the beginning. It's too late. You can't change people's mind. It's kind of like, you know, Republicans, you're not going to change their mind. It's too late. People have already been taught this stuff in school. They've already giggled about it. It's not going to happen.
never too late. There's a whole generation that has a fluid sexuality. What do you mean it's too late?
No, I'm saying it's too late to change people's minds about somebody walking down the street naked.
The minds have already been changed. It's just, like, there are generations that are like, why are y'all tripping over this?
Yeah, but they don't live. I mean, yeah, but nah. Yeah, but nah.
Millennials now make up in the United States, millennials are now the majority of the population.
As a millennial, I'm saying, no, I do not want to see shrivelies rocking. I don't want to see anyone naked. I don't want to see y'all naked. I am glad if you're happy with your tatas and your yaya and your hoo-hoo. That's great. But I feel like there's a place for everything. Everything has its place. And yes, in other countries, they're like, yeah, we're okay with you doing that. But I don't want to say that because I don't like us right now as a country. Nope, won't say that. I just think that other countries have different standards and different rules, and they may portray that, oh, we're
It's a hell of a double standard in the United States because not everyone, but most people like these sex workers and the things that they do, but they don't want to legalize the things that they do because it's taboo. Like, you gotta pick a lane. You can't do
I
that.
feel like if we're talking about street prostitution, there's a big no. If we're talking about, like, if you go to a strip club, and you know, we all have been there, where there is a aspect of the strip club where you can buy and go and get your whatever. You get the extra services. Yes, if they work in an industry or in a brick and mortar establishment, I'm all for it. I'm all for that. I think they should get
And when
health care.
you
I
talk-
think strippers should get health care.
But when you talk about like the people that walk the streets, you have to think about they need to be protected somehow.
No, they don't. They need
Because
to go and get into a brick and mortar area. Like, if we're going to legalize this, I feel like it needs to be in a building.
but a lot of people that are streetwalkers, as you call them, some of them want to be there, but some of them they want better, but they never got the social services to get better. So if it was legal, the social services connection might be easier to make.
See, I don't think so. I feel like that's giving an okie doke. I feel like that's saying, okay, well, you know, it's okay for you to bypass school, bypass education, bypass all this other stuff, because you could just go out there and show your body. It's okay. Go do that. I'm not saying that any one of these young ladies and young men, because I don't know what the stigma is, but there's this thing where for some reason people don't think there's male prostitutes. There are. You have these young ladies and these young men that are out here selling their bodies because they just don't want to do anything else. Now, I do think that we do need to have social work and people that are out here walking these streets and giving these people options. But I don't think that we should just legalize it because somebody just
But
made a
if you put
choice to check
someone
out.
in jail for sex work, you're not bettering their life.
That's because we need to reform the penal system.
They're not bettering their life because once they get out, they can go back and do the same thing.
Right, because
'Cause
we're not
that's
giving.
all
Now,
they-
I do think that if you're going to arrest somebody, and I think we've talked about this before, instead of you just arresting them, I think you need to give them options. You need to have services available for them to change their life and to see, hey, look, you don't have to come out of here and do the same thing.
Because a lot
We
of
got
people-
services where you can learn skills. You can, we can give you free education, something to help them better themselves. Now, there's a lot of people that are not going to take that. And that's happening right now.
Because you have to, you just gotta do what you can with what you have when it comes to things like that. Because like if you were to pick someone off the like if a social worker was to try and help someone and they weren't ready to be helped and like they asked for something little like, hey, I just want a meal, you just give them a meal. But when they're ready for help, you've built that trust. So
Right.
when they're ready for help, they'll come to you for help.
I think we need to make more centers specific for that line. Not that line, not like that line of work.
So
But
brothel-
people that are out there.
So brothels,
Like that.
So brothels should be legal here.
I think a brothel would be a safe space.
So
You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you out here on these streets, anybody can grab you. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, if I'm standing outside and I'm like, okay, yeah, prostitution's legal. I'm going to stand outside and I'm going to sell my body. It's kind of like putting a PFA on somebody. You know what I mean? Yes, you're not supposed to do this, but it's going to happen. Because by the time you get able to report it.
So you're saying if there is something running the establishment of the sex industry, it's okay. But
Or
if this
like, you know how in
person was
Amsterdam they have the
independent-
red light district?
Mhm.
And that's literally a specific area where you go down here, you can work at any one of these establishments.
Mhm.
And even there's certain spaces where they can stand outside. And because they registered themselves to work here in this area, they are protected. But I don't think we should just legalize it broad span because then these people won't have a specific place to be protected. And there are, unfortunately, police officers and law enforcement out here that are out to get these people.
What if they were
Like-
protected everywhere though?
They won't be. That's kind of like saying that black people are protected everywhere. Yes, there are laws put in place to protect us, but people still get killed all the time. They can say, hey, they're allowed to do this, we're going to protect them. But it's like I said, the PFA. I got this saying that you can't touch me. what are you supposed to do when they do? You see what I'm saying? What are you going to do when this person decides, I don't really care what the law says, I'm going to do what I want to do?
Then you have legal grounds as opposed to now you
But
don't
see,
have
the legal
grounds.
system needs to be reformed. Like all of these, it's like a big round circle.
Legalizing sex work would be some type of reform, kind of like how they're decriminalizing weed in certain places.
But they're still arresting people.
They're still arresting people in places where it's not decriminalized, but where
But it's still federally not legal.
It's not federally legal, but they're not arresting people in some cities because it's decriminalized.
I just think
It's
it's a no.
It's freeing up the court system.
I feel like if you say, okay, sex work is legal, then you got all these other things that you're gonna have to specify. Because now it's telling our young ladies that it's okay. I can just sell my body and I can get money. It's fine. Which they do that anyway. But now it's saying it's legal and they'll be protected. It's like it gives them a cop out.
Because right now there are like people that are doing it and they have no control over it because someone is selling their body for them. As if it was legal, they would have more independent freedom to take control of their sexuality.